open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way. No flags down. Smith scores, and the Carolina Panthers win in overtime.
With the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
She loses the football, scooped up by Burns. Brian Burns to the house.
Welcome to the Stop Capping Sports Podcast.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
What is going on, everybody? Back here, week 10 in the can. Sitting here with Seth, got James and John.
Yo, what's up?
How we doing, guys?
Oh, man, been better, right? Been better. I think we all
sure.
have.
For sure. Frustrated, confused.
I wasn't really confused. Frustrated was pretty accurate.
I mean, I gotta say I was.
There is some confusion. There's definitely confusion.
There's confusion. There's questions. There's a lot of question marks.
A lot of questions. Anything, I will say that.
You know, not just from a player standpoint, from the play calling standpoint, from just in general, just what happened Sunday. You know, and from what you've seen throughout the year, I think that was the last thing that any fan expected to happen on that Sunday. You know, I feel like everybody was pretty confident going into this game for sure.
Yeah, confidence took a big hit.
It did.
I understand.
You know, and it puts more on emphasis on, kind of what we were saying last week and, exactly how far can this team really go with what they have, what has been hidden behind Rico Dowdle, and
correct.
And I think we saw it. I brought that up. I didn't think it would be the Saints, but I said last week that I was like, there's going to be a game coming up where a team is 100% going to sell out on the run. And then you're going to have to see what the Panthers are made of, and that pretty much, it ain't one guy, obviously, everybody wants to come on here and they want to blast Bryce. Bryce has fault for sure. He is not, innocent in any of it, but at the same time, with what we saw last year, coming in, we've talked about it multiple times on here from what we saw and what we expected, and to be where we're at with his, just him in general, week 10, your third year, we've seen regression, and the wide receivers still continue to not show up when they need to, obviously the touchdown to excel, you have to catch that.
At least give a better effort.
Exactly.
I would go better.
Just better effort. Just show effort that you want to catch it.
I heard somebody say he couldn't even fully get the full extension.
No,
on his arm.
And
wouldn't even get that elbow popped to try to reach for it.
No. Ted missed. He had a big drop. A little behind him, but when you draft a guy that high, you
wasn't a little behind him.
But still, when you draft a guy high,
his hands at the ball make contact. So I agree, he should have caught the ball.
When you draft a guy that high, that guy is supposed to catch those type of balls.
Yeah, and about that pass too, just to Ted pushed off of the DB. Like he didn't run in, he didn't run through the coverage, and if he would have and wouldn't have pushed off, because what happened, he pushed himself further away from where he would have been if he would have ran into the DB to make that cut.
Sure.
So again, that's a number one receiver. Like I expect him to be pushing that corner up the field, not let me get a push, but I'm actually pushing myself backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's again with Ted, man. That's the kind of stuff I want to see him start winning on. Instead of just going through motions on. So I definitely there's other things too. So yeah, with Ted, I definitely saw that in that play.
Yeah, I mean, and it's hard to sit back and to say, oh well, Ted's just a rookie. He's gonna make mistakes. You know what I mean? And you have to understand that, because that's what we've been dealing with for the last 2 seasons. These guys are young. These guys are trying to, learn and adapt to the game. And it's frustrating from a fan standpoint when you're looking at your record, you're looking at what you just did at Lambeau, even though, Seth, you made plenty, it was a different type of game in Lambeau, right. But still just the effort you have seen this far to see you fall so short to not, there wasn't one time in that game on Sunday that I even felt like they had a grasp on anything that was going on.
No.
They had the opportunity. I will say that
you had plenty of opportunities.
The turnover, it was either a turnover or turnover.
That weird block kick thing.
Yeah, that
was
no idea what that was.
That was insane.
I didn't even know.
Come back from commercial and it's like they're still meeting about it.
Here's my question about that situation. How is that New Orleans Saints issue when they blocked it? It ricocheted off a Panthers shoulder pad helmet. Then passed the line of scrimmage. It should have been a dead ball when it hit the Panthers player offensively.
I don't understand.
I assumed turnover on downs. I
assume as soon as
ball, like you said.
As soon as their hand hits that ball, it's a block kick, right?
So the rule.
I guess technically it becomes
a block kick and it goes past the line of scrimmage. It's a live ball. It would be considered just like a punt. So if the defensive player touches the ball, it becomes live. What threw me off is it hit the Panthers player, and that's what caused the ball to go across the line.
Yeah, so it went backwards.
It was weird.
But it didn't hit the ground. It hit somebody's head and then went forward.
But even the play that follows that, though, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the communication there. If I'm sitting here, you see 15 come on the field, what's 15 probably going to do? Jet sweep, right? That seems to be the only thing that you run him with. And just to see that confusion there between quarterback and wide receiver, where Jimmy Horn doesn't look like he even knows what's going on the play. You know what I mean? And
he's almost like running away from Bryce. He's like, no.
It looked to me from Jimmy Horn's standpoint, it was supposed to be like a play action thing. He was going to fake the handoff.
That's the way it looked.
And then there was going to be a pass on the back end.
So this is what I'm saying.
The question is, was it that and Jimmy Horn was right? Or was Bryce Young giving him the ball and Jimmy Horn didn't have play?
It's the confusion. That's what we're talking about. Like what happened. And this is the other thing. I want to let y'all talk, but I want to get these few things out that I want to talk. There was a big emphasis. Like I've seen a lot of people talk about the game that Jimmy Horn had, how bad the defense played, right? Jimmy Horn had a terrible game. He got burnt by Olave.
J.C. Horn.
Yeah, J.C. Horn. He got burnt.
He did.
But when you look from a defensive standpoint, the defense did not play a bad game. This was 10-0. This was 10-7 going into the fourth quarter. If you look at the games this year, this is their fourth lowest score they have allowed all season long. You throw the 0 in there. I think it was 13 against Green Bay and 6 with the Jets, and then 17. So from a defensive standpoint, they didn't play terrible. Yes, there were bad moments on the defense. Like I said, the touchdown to Chris Olave, the one with Jawan Jennings, he was wide open. There was bad moments in that game, but it wasn't that the defense played so bad that it put you out of the contention for the game.
Correct.
It came down to is us not having an answer for them stopping Rico Dowdle. That's 100% what it came down to. And again, we can point fingers at Bryce. We can point fingers at wide receivers. I know I saw 2 horrendous interceptions. One was luckily called back off a roughing the passer, which the roughing the passer had nothing to do with the third ball because that happened after the ball had left his hand. The other one, yes, right to the pick. But then that's also the defense knowing what you're doing. How many out routes did we run in that game? The same play over and over. Eventually, somebody's going to get a bone, and that's exactly what happened. It was the same design play that he had ran to Tet 2 times in the game, and boom, the corner undercut it. They knew it was coming back because that's the only way we were throwing the football. We had nothing downfield. It was just embarrassing to see a defense just come out there and say, you know what? We're going to shut Rico down, and we're going to force you to beat us with your arm. I mean, again, bad pass by Bryce, of course, but again, that's just showing you that the defense knows what's coming.
Yeah.
He just bit on it, and it was there. When we talk about Bryce Young, it does not look good right now. We have seen regression, and it's something when we're talking about year 3, week 10, is something we should not be seeing. There has to be a point in time where his skill set has to elevate around everything else. And I get that it's hard, but I'm tired of the narrative that this is the worst passing offense. And the weapons here are just so abysmal that we can't get it done, because this isn't the ceiling of this offense, because last year we saw it with almost the exact same pieces. The only thing you did is you removed Thielen, you added Ted, and that's it. So
which you would think would be an upgrade.
Correct. So you can't sit here and say, oh, we haven't seen it with his offense, because we've seen it last year down the stretch. We saw Bryce. I mean, Bryce lit up some of these defense, some of the better defenses in the league, playoff teams. So it's not that Bryce can't do it. My concern and my question mark is, why is the play calling what it looks like? I mean, it was what it kind of looked like in the beginning of the year. It kind of what it looked like the beginning of last year, to where it was all these outlaw routes. It was, 10, 15 yards down the field. There was no stretching the field. I don't understand where it comes to a point where you have to say, hey, look, we just have to give these guys an opportunity. Look at the Tennessee Titans, right? Cam Ward is playing terrible, but you have to, as a Carolina fan, we saw Bryce go through it. We understand what Cam Ward is going through right now, where the offense around him is not the best. But what do they do with Cam Ward? They still allow him to drop back. They still allow him to get these opportunities to his wide receivers to make plays. What is the difference between Bryce stepping back, throwing down the ball, and turning the ball over than you just not doing it at all? Because if you're shutting the run game down and you're not passing downfield, you're just saying, hey, this game's already lost. We just don't want to turn the ball over anymore. So you're losing the game anyways. So you have to start taking these shots. And it's funny because, I mean, I'm sure y'all watch both Bryce and Dave Canales' post-game after the thing. Frustration out of both. You know what I mean? But again, what is the number one thing they hammer Dave Canales is? Why aren't these plays being called? Why aren't we seeing more plays downfield? Why this? Why that? Like, it comes back on Dave Canales when it comes down to it. Is why aren't these opportunities being called? If Bryce is going to be what he is, then so be it. But we have seen a different side of Bryce. We've seen a different side of this play calling in this offense. Like, again, same pieces. I'm just trying to understand where you're right here. You're 5-4. You're going against one of the worst teams in the NFL. You're coming off one of the biggest games that you've had in 2 years, and you have a chance to go first place in the division, and you don't even try. And I think that's what's for me. I was so frustrated is I felt like they didn't even try Sunday to make anything happen. But I'll let y'all go. That's just something. That's why I'm frustrated.
I still want to come down on everybody's got their piece to do, right? There's definitely some blame to go around to be shared. But watching this game back, what I'm seeing from Bryce, there is a unwillingness to push the ball downfield. And as far as like the coaching and what I'm looking at from that is there's routes available downfield that do get open. One thing that I noticed watching back, sort of kept a count of the time from snap to ball out of Bryce's hands, just to see what the pocket was looking like and, how long we're keeping it. Because, they say they want to do this 2-second thing. They want it under 2.7, but they're shooting for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't even let a route develop in 2 seconds. And what I saw from Bryce several occasions in this game, it's 1,000, 2,000, and it's going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing that, you don't allow your receivers to even extend from anybody, get downfield. Those take another second or two to fully develop. Well, when you want to keep pushing this 2-second deal, and I don't know if Bryce is just, or Dave is pounding into Bryce this much that we're hitting 2 seconds, you got to get the ball out. 2 seconds to get the ball out. I'm sorry, but there's no receiver that's going to be downfield and be in position in 2 seconds for a big play. And so what ends up looks like happens more than not is Bryce is just hitting these 2 seconds and it's going to whoever is there, and it's always underneath guys. Mm-hmm. It's always a tight end that's running out or an end, one of the running backs coming out. He just ain't given time to get downfield. Now, there are a couple times where he hits that 3 second. If he threw with anticipation deep, like he does on some of these out routes and stuff like this, then maybe he could have that, because there were multiple instances where XL was open deep. Now, we want to argue about, well, you know, XL, we can't depend on him anyway. Well,
gotta give him a shot.
If Bryce threw it out there, you know what that would do? That would take the spotlight off of Bryce. Because then because here's my thing with the supporting cast, we just don't know. We just don't know.
Exactly.
Like we don't know what XL can do.
What I'm about to say.
So that's, and then it's like, all right, we're going to feature Coker more. I mean, did you think that they really featured Coker anymore? I mean, to me, that was just gradual progression of him coming back into the lineup.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He didn't have his first catch until the third quarter, right?
I think it was late.
I think he had his first 2 catches late. They were on back-to-back catches on the same out route that y'all were talking about earlier. Back-to-back plays. I want to say they were within 2 or 3 plays of each other. So featured is a very questionable.
Yeah, I wouldn't say featured
was
at
used
all.
in that situation.
Yeah. Just used a little bit more than you did last week.
Played a little bit more snaps.
Right.
Not featured.
And man, there were times I saw Trimble sneaking open toward the end of that, toward the end of that 3 count. There were times I thought Bryce had guys deep, but just chose the underneath that was open at the same time. But he had the option. There was a couple of posts that XL ran and had his guy beat by 2-3 yards. And one of them was the deep safety. He was the only guy. He was like wide open. And I think I had it at like the closest player to him was probably 5 yards. Yeah. XL wide open on post, 5 yards, closest defender. And that closest defender was actually behind him looking at Bryce. Yeah. So the only person for him to beat was the safety that was over the top. And it is clear path to the end zone. Yeah. It's passes like that. And it didn't just happen just once. This is multiple with XL. But again, you get down to XL. Bryce did take that shot at him in the end zone, and then you get, you don't even get a full extension. Mm-mm. And he's like, well, again, I think Dean is on to something about him being afraid to fall or afraid to get hit or whatever, because he started slowing down as he was getting to the back of the end zone.
Or did he actually not anticipate the ball getting thrown? He got caught because he just assumed it wasn't going to happen. You also got to factor that in there too.
Well, if that's the case, then how much is he doing that?
Yeah.
So I feel you. Like, is he quitting on his routes, or is he out there, pacemaking and just running routes and getting extra steps in every day?
Well, I would
like
say,
you said, if he's running a post and he's open by 5 yards to the nearest defender, and the defender's not even facing the right direction, I mean, you can't afford to miss that opportunity. That's a walk-in touchdown, and 31 other NFL teams. Maybe 30. Jets are a little I don't think Justin Fields would uncork one either, but that's neither here nor there. But realistically, if you look at the opportunity, like you said, if you look at the opportunities that we missed, and then you look at the opportunities that the Saints capitalized on, this play came down to 2 games. The game came down to the 2 plays. That's what it boiled down to. It came down to 2 blown coverages with Horn falling down in coverage on both of the plays. Mm-hmm. That's realistically what it came down to. From a score standpoint.
No, correct.
And James, you mentioned this earlier. And this is like, for me, where it's really, really frustrating. We just had arguably the biggest win in 3 years.
No, 100%.
On the road in Lambeau versus
at the time the number one
team.
At the time, the number 1 team in the
Yes,
NFC.
they looked like crap yesterday, but that's neither here nor there.
Both teams look like crap.
Yeah, they both look bad. It wasn't just one.
Yeah,
but you're on this momentum high, right? Right, Victory Monday. They talked about Victory Monday. It probably shouldn't have happened. I agree. because obviously whatever happened, because I know we've all talked about the situation post game where not only Icky but Scorton also mentioned the lackluster practices leading into the game and how they thought that significantly impacted the team performance. Offensively, how the hell do you score 7 points against a team that have won one game? Like, I can't make that make sense.
No.
Like,
You can't. It doesn't.
You're at home. This is the first game in probably 2 years that Panthers fans really showed up. Like, the bank had more Panthers
The
fans.
first game in 2 years that you were probably favored in.
It was the first game in over 2 years that you were favored.
That you were favored to win.
And you go out there and you do that. You scored 7 points, and you shouldn't have scored that. Let's be real. Because like you said, the interception was ugly.
Yep.
He got bailed out because he's short, and the guy hit him in the head. Like, let's be real about it.
I think it was sort of soft.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
No, 100%, dude.
That's a soft NFL by the rules call.
Right? It's by the 100% rules. He hit rules. Hey, it's a flag.
Which I have seen him some that he didn't get.
Letter of the law.
You see it, but you see that throughout the league everywhere.
Right.
So it's just not just our situation.
It was the correct call by the wording of the rules. Was it a real roughing the passer? Did he get leveled? No. He just got whacked in the forehead. Like,
and his face mask.
He's completely fine. Barely hit it.
Yeah.
And that gave us the ball back. That gave us a second opportunity to score.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst offensive games I think I've ever witnessed. And when I say ever witnessed, I'm not talking about just Panthers football. I'm talking about football, period. And I've watched thousands of games of football. That shit was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I sent this out. I think I sent it out Sunday afternoon. I don't remember the exact time. But it said that in simple, I'll summarize it. Either Bryce Young, Dave Canales, or both are hesitant or not going deep at all. And when you play one-dimensional offense, which means all of your passes are going within about a 5-yard split of the line of scrimmage, or you're running the ball consistently, it's not that damn hard to stop. And we got exposed. I know I sent that message out where they said the Panthers have been exposed. This is exactly what you have to do to stop them. The pathetic part wasn't even that, because we talked about it last week. What happens if you shut down the run game? Can Bryce Young win you the game? We had a whole probably almost hour-long conversation centrated around that situation that spewed over into other things as well. But realistically, we saw what that looks like versus a one-win team that was starting a rookie second-round quarterback that's 26 years old, played for 4 teams in college, and that no one believes has a future. This dude threw a duck at the combine and was 10 yards short of the guy. Like, let's be real. We just got our ass handed to us by the Saints at home in the most embarrassing fashion that I think I've seen in a very long time.
And like you said, embarrassing. What makes it so embarrassing? Like, when you think about the 3 years the Panthers just went through, what makes it embarrassing is where you're at in the current, like where you're at as your record going into week 10. Like, you're above 500 for the first time. You're coming off a big win for the first time. It's just so much on the table.
So much belief.
Yeah, and there's so much to like believe in and trust. It's like they may have something. And in the back of our heads, we all said, we're all holding on to the fact is that, you know what? We did see Bryce cook last season. We did see him do it. So if they do, if you're going to do it against any team, if the Saints are going to be the one team that shuts your run game down, you're just the better football team. When it comes down to it, I know, but when you put it roster to roster, I'm taking our receiving core over their. They have Olave. I'm still taking our receiving core over their entire receiving core as a whole. Yeah. I'm taking I'm taking our running backs over Alvin Kamara. Correct. I'm taking Bryce Young over their quarterback, regardless of what it looks like. I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying? Like, tat for tat.
Our offensive line.
I'm taking definitely the offensive line.
You're definitely going to take the head coach. Would you rather have Dave Canales or Kellen Moore?
Dave Canales. So, you know what I mean? As an entire whole, you just have this team outmatched from the get-go, but it obviously didn't look that way. It didn't look that way.
So I'm going to read this one because this will summarize, because I don't know if I sent this. I believe I did. But this is from Josh Norris on X. It says, so what's going on with the Panthers passing game? Here's the core part of the issue. Through 10 weeks, someone, Bryce Young, Dave Canales, or both, is unwilling to throw downfield. Weeks 8 through 18 last season, Bryce Young and the Panthers passing game on 20-plus yards ranked. This is NFL ranked. 6th in attempts percentage. 2nd in adjusted completion percentage. 2nd in big-time throw rate, only behind Justin Herbert. In the same 10-week span of this season, that has dropped to 31st, and this is why we talked about this last week, 31st in attempt percentage. We're the 2nd worst team in the league in throwing the ball deep. I believe the worst team is the Jets. I already mentioned that too. 7th in adjusted completion percentage. Again, the shots he does take, he is pretty accurate. Dean portrayed that last week with his advanced statistics. And then 5th in big-time throw rates, which would, again, indicate what's the difference? We're not taking the shots. Why? That's my question. When you look at why. At the end of the day, to me, this is a culmination of both coach and quarterback. I don't think this is a one-way street. I think this got something to do with both of them. I agree with Seth. There are opportunities that Bryce Young just isn't taking. Now, I don't know if that's because he's being told, hey, you need to take these shots quickly. I don't know what his thought process is in that situation, but I'll tell you one thing I do know. And I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that locker room when Bryce Young and Dave Canales spoke, because they both came out and they both looked frustrated. They both looked pissed, and they both looked very angry when they did their conference. And they were asked very similar questions about the passing game specifically and Bryce Young's ability to throw the ball deep and or inability to throw the ball deep. And I said this, right? I think there was a legitimate conversation between a coach and a quarterback that said, hey, look, right, you're not guaranteed next year. You need to go out there and prove that you're the guy. And I think that really got under Bryce's skin. That's just my opinion. Again, I wasn't in the room. Nobody else was probably in the room when the conversation was had. But at this point, it's a conversation, right? We talked about it last week. It was a conversation. It's only growing more concerning at this point, especially after what we just had to witness on Sunday with the atrocity that was that game versus a one-win team where we should have mud-walked them and won by double digits. And we looked like crap. We played like crap. And offensively, because at the end of the game, like you said, we gave up 17 points, man. Mm-hmm. In the NFL, if you can't win a game when you only give up 17 points, you got a problem. And it's on the offensive side of the ball. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You can talk about drops. You can talk about skill positions. I don't give a fuck about any of that. At the end of the day, and in my opinion, and I've said this to y'all, we have a quarterback problem. Like, let's address the real issue in the situation is we do have a quarterback problem. And right now, I don't know if he's the guy next year. And in my opinion, I think, and I don't know, I don't send this directly to y'all, but I know I sent it in one of my dynasty chats. I think, personally speaking, we're going to separate at the end of during the offseason. We're going to mutually agree to part ways. Bryce Young will be traded prior to free agency and prior to the NFL draft, and he's going to be on a new team next year. Where that is and what his role on that team will be determined by that team. But right now, as a Panthers fan, I've seen enough through 30-plus starts, 11 wins, that he's not the difference maker. He's not the guy you drafted 101 to lead your franchise in the future. The only downside is not only did we draft him at 101, but we gave up an additional first-round pick. We gave up a star wide receiver under a contract extension in DJ Moore. We gave up an additional second-round pick, all to draft this guy. And right now, we're seeing what that really does look like long-term, because this isn't a situation that's just going to fix itself overnight. We're in a situation where, and in my opinion, if we do bring Bryce back, which is very, very possible, we have to bring back legitimate competition for him. We can't just hand him the job.
And I think that's where I'm at with it. This is where I'm at with that situation. I don't think Bryce is going after this year, because I don't think the Panthers are in the position right now with with what you still need as a team to go and draft another quarterback in this draft. But this is I think this is where you see
the veteran market, but
or as deep as this class could be in quarterback. I think this is a situation where you may see one of those guys get taken in the second or third round. And it's to bring him in to kind of spark something, like you said, a competition.
Jalen situation with the Eagles.
This is the thing. I mean, Seth, me and you were texting privately, and I told Seth, I was like, the one thing that Bryce has shown you is like, if you put him in a winning situation, he's not going to lose you the football game. The thing is we got to combine that with what we saw at the end of last year. Because if you combine that, you have a franchise quarterback. You have a guy that's going to do enough to win you football games and not lose you football games because we have seen him do it. He has talent. Right now, it's a problem between quarterback and coach. I don't know whose issue it is, but that's the problem between the two. And Seth said earlier, you have to start giving guys opportunities because we don't know what we have really. And this is another thing. And this ain't for me. I heard some random person. I was scrolling on TikTok actually before the podcast, and he pointed something out. He said, since Tet has come in, you don't see the opportunity as much for the other guys because you are peppering Tet McMillan. Now,
he has a massive target share. I agree there.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But last year, what was one of the biggest things that Bryce did last year? He distributed that ball to multiple guys on the field. It wasn't keyed in on one guy. It was he made the right read, and he got the ball to the guy that was open. And currently, they have to figure this out. And that's been the frustrating thing. This is what I've been rambling. Me and Dean's talked about it. And Dean wants to say, their identity is not the run game. Their identity is 110% the run game because it just showed you that.
Obvious, yes.
Bryce hadn't he's threw over 200 yards once this
all season.
Once.
So it's definitely the run game.
It's definitely the run game. I'll tell you one thing, real quick, and I'll get back on my train of thought. What I think a few of us, I know I said that, I know Dean said it. He said this is by far probably the worst game he saw Bryce in Carolina.
I've heard that.
Okay, but what if I told you that statistically it's not?
I wouldn't be surprised because he's not a good stat guy. Let's be real about it.
Bryce Young's last 3 starts, 25 attempts, 20 attempts, 25 attempts.
Mm-hmm. How many rushing
Yardage. 138, 102, 124. That's an average of 121 yards a game.
Correct.
So this isn't something that we had just saw against Bryce. This is actually what he's been doing for the last 3 weeks. His numbers have been the same technically, but it was inflated by a run game behind it. So me and Seth, where would we like to see Bryce out? That 25 to 30 range throwing the football. You know what I mean? But a lot of that with the yardage, you see the yards ain't there, so that lets you know it's a lot of short plays.
He's ducking the ball down.
Yeah, he's averaging like 7 yards a play. 7.2, I think, was the average.
On season, his average yards per
his
air
average depth of target is like 6 point something.
It's 5.6.
Damn, it's dropped then.
It's 5.6. You know what? It was 5.6. You know what was Sunday? 5.0. So it was almost identical. This is almost identical to what he's been doing this year. It was just the eye test looked worse this time. What you saw physically, it looked worse.
Because we couldn't run the football.
Because we could not run the football.
Correct.
Again, you can throw in these little punches and say, "Oh, he made this good play on a third down. He converted a fourth down." He can do those things.
Good plays, but it's not consistent.
But back to what I'm saying, I think this is the point where Bryce, you have to bring somebody in, especially it's going to get better. I mean, this isn't Bryce's ceiling. I mean, let's be honest. I don't think this might be the worst you might see him play this year. Maybe.
I hope so.
I mean, I hope so because I do think you can see the frustration. That's the first time I've seen him in an interview where he cuts questions off, where he didn't let them finish. He's like, "Look, it's on me as a franchise guy, as a franchise quarterback. You're supposed to take those responsibilities, you know." But again, when I was watching him, I was like, "Bro, you can come here, you can poke your lip out, you can blame yourself, but until you change this on the field, this is what it's going to be."
Yeah.
So now I think, unfortunately, this is the time where Bryce, you are now playing for your job.
Correct.
And I hate that because I think part of that blame is on Dave Canales. Dave Canales has some blame in this situation.
Yes.
Like I said, the situation that's going on in that, as far as the passing game and Seth, you said decision making by Bryce, but there's something there with Dave and Bryce. It has to get figured out.
And I said it last year. I felt like there was a disconnect between the two of them, and it looks like that's still an accurate statement.
And even if you have to start
between the two,
even if it's something you have to start listening to Bryce. Bryce, what do you like? Break down the film. What did you like here? What did you see? Like you have to get something, because again, this isn't going to last. I mean, we're seeing, if we're being honest, we're kind of seeing Rico fall apart, physically.
My thing is, how is that not happening? How is that not already part of the process where we're exchanging, hey, coach, I like this. We do this. I like the way you take me here and there.
Second year together, they'd be able to do that.
Right. You think it would be open communication. I mean, both of them seem like they're pretty straight shooters. So, what are we missing here? I mean, any coach, any player, any play caller and quarterback relationship should be like that. Now, and maybe Dave just needs to give it up and pass that on to Brad Izzy. I mean, maybe it's time. Something's got to change up. And
the unfortunate thing is, I think the change up was with the quarterback position. I don't think that we're in a situation where Dave Canales isn't safe, right? If you look at everything Dave Canales and Dan Morgan have done over the last season and a half, right? They're going young. They're investing in the draft. They're getting more draft.
I think what Seth is saying is from
young guys.
But I'm talking.
No, I get what Seth's saying. What can we change now?
From a communication standpoint, that's what I'm saying. If the communication isn't there with Canales, pass your play calling on and see what happens when you do it with your offensive coordinator.
Yeah, let's not run everybody out of town just yet.
I don't think
save that conversation for end of season.
I feel you. I think, could that benefit everyone involved? Yes, I do think that could.
I do think it'll benefit to have somebody, another guy in there. Bryce is better than Andy Dalton.
And that's what my thing is too. It's like, what else is our option right now? So Bryce is the best option we got, because we've seen Andy Dalton, and it's just not there. It's just not there. He can't do half of what Bryce could do.
No,
which is why I said I didn't want to resign him, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, no. Look, hey, I'll give you that. You were right on that.
Look,
it didn't take me 4 or 5 months, and I was like, man, I don't want him here no more.
No, there's no benefit.
I didn't want him back at all.
None.
If you're trying to be just a veteran that Bryce can talk to, rely on, hey, that's not working, dog. Like,
no,
I'm sorry, but whatever you're telling Bryce,
what you were supposed to be bringing to the table ain't working. So
no,
I'd
he's
rather
not Joe Flacco.
No, it's not Joe Flacco. You know what I mean?
So I sent y'all this stat. Now, mind you, I literally had to do the math for this. This isn't like I asked ChatGPT or anything. I literally broke down game by game, all 11 of Bryce Young's wins. Okay, now I'm not going to read it all because it was a pretty wordy text message, but I'm going to read you the game breakdown. If you divide all of his wins by the 11 games that they've won, this dates back all the way to his rookie year, includes every game, all 5 of the games that we won this year. On a per game basis, Bryce Young has averaged 17 completions on 26 pass attempts, right? And that money number that you were talking about, James, 25 to 30 range. Yeah. That's a 65.8% completion percentage. He's averaging 170 yards per game, and this is throughout all 11 wins. And he has a 1.45 touchdown to interception ratio of a 0.36, which is essentially 4-to-1 when you do the big math up. And as a team, we are also in all 11 of those wins averaging 28.8 rush attempts, 134 yards, and a touchdown per game. Bryce Young, and this is just my opinion, right? If you look at it, Bryce Young is a bona fide game manager. Like you said, James, he's not going to make the mistake that costs you the game, but he's also not going to make you consistent plays to win you games.
No.
And when you take a guy at 101 and you invest in as the number 1 pick in a draft, not only that, but you gave up a fortune to go get him. that's not what we signed up for. We didn't sign up for a game manager that's going to average 170 passing yards a game with a touchdown.
If it was Jared Goff game manager, that would be great.
That's different.
But
Yeah.
everybody can say Jared Goff's a game manager all you want to. He's been a top 10 quarterback in passing yards for the last 4 or 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
He's going out there and slinging the ball.
Look at one of the quarterbacks that came out of the draft that nobody's even talking about anymore. AR. His opportunities were shot short. Now, I'm not comparing Bryce to AR. Bryce is obviously better than AR.
Bryce has also played a lot more and showed significantly that he ain't the guy. At least with AR, we can say we've only seen this much of a sample size.
Yeah.
With AR, I can say at least the potential is still there. At this point,
No, it's what I'm saying is what I'm saying with that is when you compare the two.
I don't believe that at all.
But the only reason
he's not good. We know that.
The only reason why he's lasted this long, and this isn't me, I'm not on the train that I think I do think he's here next year, but I think the only reason why he's lasted this long is because of
the investment.
The investment.
That's why he's still there.
The situation he was put in to begin with, by far one of the worst situations that a quarterback can walk into. You're seeing that same situation in Tennessee with Cam Ward. Right. Coach gets fired, halfway through the season, or not even halfway, quarter way through the season, but he's going through the same thing that Bryce went through. So
you want to know, hold on, not to cut you off here. You want to know another quarterback that went through that exact same situation?
Who's that?
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
With the Bears. Same situation.
Yeah.
Drafted 101. One of the shittiest offensive lines in the league. Had the most sacks taken last year by a mile. Head coach fired in the middle of his rookie year. You want to know what the difference is?
He's showing promise.
Yeah, he is a lot.
He's showing promise, and I think that's the big
He's
thing.
showing that he has the investment of 101.
He's just showing promise, and that's
still not great though.
He's not great.
He's not great, but he's at least top 12.
Yeah, he's not great, but he's showing potential. Like I said, we are currently, and again, when you put the emphasis on, we are week 10 in Bryce's third year in the NFL.
Correct.
Second straight year with the same coach, same offensive scheme. And the only thing I'm saying is we have seen regression. And that's what you don't want to see. You don't want to see the regression when what you built on last year going into the offseason had all of us in the chokehold that, hey, it's just going to be something. It's just so frustrating. And
it is.
It sucks being Panther fans because it's a conversation that nobody's talking about when we're winning football games. But again, when you look at the numbers with them wins and you look at the numbers when the losses, they're all the same.
That's why I pointed out the numbers and the wins because it's still relying on the running game. If you have to have 28 rushes and 100-plus yards and scores from your running game every week to win, then in my opinion, you're not the answer at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
That's just how I look at it. If you look at it, and I'm not trying to sound bad, I'm not going to spew numbers because we had the whole Drake May conversation last week. Drake May has just as many career wins as Bryce Young. Caleb Williams has 10. They both played a full season less. They were both drafted the year after Bryce Young. So even if you give Bryce Young a pass, he's still got less wins because 2 of his 11 wins came in his rookie year.
Yeah.
He's just not playing winning NFL football. And when you play quarterback position, the only damn thing that matters in the NFL is do you win or do you lose? He has a worse career winning percentage than Jamarcus Russell. Let's be real about it.
Yeah, he
does. It's a fact. If you don't believe me, fact check it.
He's on the all-time. He's on a lot of all-time worst quarterbacks right now. Down there with Joey Harringtons and Chris Winkies and all these guys. He's in the bottom 10.
He's in purgatory of shitty quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think he's number 9 overall.
Busts.
Yeah,
worst. So it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue any of that. And some part of me also, part of the reason maybe we haven't seen a lot from these other guys is because Bryce just isn't giving it to him. And we know that, again, he's not targeting downfield. And I don't know if that's part of him and Dave's disconnect on the get the ball out in 2 seconds. We want to preach. I remember the whole preaching 2 seconds last year.
Yeah.
Coming in because they said Bryce held the ball too long in his freshman or his rookie year. So they preached it big, and I don't know if that's just what's hanging around, but you're not going to get routes developed downfield at a consistent pace, especially if you're only giving receivers 2 seconds. And there's times, look, the offensive line was a deal his rookie season.
Yes.
Nobody can dispute that. But this line the past 2 seasons, and especially like even in this game, there were times that he was rushed out. He got popped by Cam Jordan. Everybody wanted to throw off on Ickey. I think Damian Lewis, there was some miscommunication there because it ended up being Damian Lewis, Cade Mays, and Austin Corbett blocking one guy.
Correct. And then the running back went to the outside, and he came
to pick
in.
up. Right.
Correct.
Yep. So there was definitely some miscommunication on all that.
The running back messed up because it looked like
Yes.
Ickey did what he was supposed to. In my opinion.
Yep. But you got 3 guys blocking one guy. So there's definitely math is not mathing. So there's issues like that. That's once that has happened. I think Bryce had 2 sacks. I think the other one was sort of a free runner too, and they just didn't pick it up. But people wanted to throw off on Ickey and say this is Ickey's worst game. Actually, technically, it wasn't, and he was, I think, one of our top 5 PFF grades for the week. So just because Ickey, was involved in one miss on a blocking scheme doesn't mean that he had a bad game. So I definitely would like to point that out from an offensive lineman guy. But I have not been Turk Wharton. To me, you know when he's done something because he's going to celebrate it.
Yeah.
And he may have done 3 good things yesterday. He's getting washed out in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like our defense. There's times when this is our lineup. It's Derek Brown, Turk Wharton, 2 down linemen. Then it's Scorton and DJ Wonnum. That's our front. That's our front 4, and we're getting ran on like crazy. And most of the time, it's because they're targeting Turk's side. And really, what I see off this defensive front, it's mainly 2 guys. It's Derek Brown and Nick Scorton that are in on almost everything.
Down. In my opinion, Nick Scorton should be an every down player.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Yes. And so Princely got a little bit of burn yesterday, and it was coming in for Scorton. I don't know what that was about, but he would come in on that side instead of coming in for Wonnum, which it could just be because of the depth there that we have right there right now. But Trevin Wallace got hurt.
Yeah. Was it shoulder?
So what I heard from Dave's press conferences was they wasn't even going to release any updates on anything until tomorrow, which would be Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what all he had. They said he was writhing in pain as they went to commercial, and you could see him kicking and everything on the replay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing that led me to believe was maybe he dislocated his shoulder. It was sort of a glancing blow. I think it was on Juwan Johnson. Sort of a glancing blow. Didn't look like a huge impact. So I don't know if it was a broken arm, broken something, or he dislocated his shoulder. So that sucks because we just picked up.
Super thin.
We just picked up the one guy as with Chairless. We just picked up him 2 weeks ago, just to have some depth there.
I will say he did play fairly well stepping in.
Chairless, yeah, he's done okay.
Yeah.
J.C. Horn though.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it,
dude.
The guy
was it 3 weeks ago? We're trying to have that discussion, and Dean's trying to call it out, and I'm like, no, man, he's good. He's good. Man, it's hard to defend stuff like this too. Like, he's solely responsible for 2 touchdowns out of that. He also gave up that big 52-yarder to Juwan Johnson because he got beat. And this is where Dean told me, he was like, he leaves his responsibility. And I saw that on that first 52-yarder that Juwan Johnson got.
Yeah.
J.C. Horn had that third. He had so if you're looking at it, he had the defense's right. He had that third of the field.
Side. He typically always plays the short side of the field.
So he ended up at the opposite hash. And Juwan Johnson is already behind him and heading to open field.
Correct.
Like, it is beyond, And this is what I told Dean. I was like, well, I remember Dave saying early in the season that we just got to worry about our 111th and quit trying to overplay to make up, for what we think might be somebody's slights or whatever. And that still looks like what JC's doing. When you have that far right third and you end up on the opposite hash, what are you doing?
You're 20 yards out of position.
Completely out of position.
Yeah.
And then you let this tight end have this wide open catch and run.
Juwan Jennings.
Juwan
Jennings. This is what we're talking about. Juwan Jennings. We're talking week 10.
Yes.
Juwan Jennings burning our defense.
Twice.
We have
twice.
Olave, I get it. Olave's he's a very good wide receiver.
There was a little push off there, but
it was a push off there.
Hey, but you expect it from a guy like him.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a tight end that shredded us. JC shredded one singular person. He is going through a bad stretch. He is.
Yeah.
This is the most inconsistent we've seen JC. You know what I mean? He have his moments where he gives it up. And I get what Dean's saying to where, he's not this elite corner. He is a very good corner.
He's the second best player on our defense.
I would say third.
Behind who?
Derek Brown.
Derek Brown, obviously.
I'm throwing Nick Scorton in there because my man's been popping off. I know it's still more to prove, but I'm telling you, by the time it's done,
a little early on that one.
But still,
recency bias.
His impact on the game, his impact on the game, though, has been at moments have been more than what JC has shown this season. So I get it. JC, he's having a bad stretch.
Sacks, though. Let's be real.
Huh?
Scorton's had 2-3 sacks.
Yeah, but he also hasn't been a full-time starter either. So he
When
was
talking about best players on our team, J.C. Horn is one of the best players on our team.
Yeah, no, you're talking about like right now, this moment. Yes, it is Derek Brown and J.C. Horn. It is. You know what I mean? And I'm still not here saying that's a bad thing. He had a terrible game. I'm still not saying it's a bad thing that JC's our second best player on our team because
look at Sauce Gardner, prime example.
Yeah, everybody has
players.
these moments.
They love to play.
But I mean, boy, you got to buckle up. I mean, because damn,
the thing with JC though, like we just said, like again, why are you out of position? Because he's trying to cover somebody else. Like he thinks that somebody else needs help.
Yeah.
So then he's getting himself out of position in that.
Wrong either, because our back end safeties and pass pro are fucking.
Well, this has been a problem all year.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he would have been covering for linebackers at this point. He would have been covering for linebackers. The where he went would have been a linebacker's zone. And he's cheating that much.
I'll say one thing. I think Morig would be the third best player on defense. I will go out there and say that. He's exceeded my expectations joining us from Las Vegas Raiders. He's been stout in run defense. I think he still leads the NFL in tackles for losses for the safety position. I think he had 2 again this week. I know he had 1, but I think he had 2. So I mean, he's played very well, especially against the run. Scott, like, dude, he's made 1 play all fucking year. Like, I don't understand why he's still.
Yeah, last week.
1 play. Okay, let's be real. He's only made 1 play all year.
The crazy thing is it's been the most consistent thing for the Panthers. It's been the defense. The run game,
Correct.
But the defense has been most consistent. You know,
and if you look at it historically, how does the Panthers win? With a good run game and a consistent defense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're building to our identity of our franchise.
The thing is, you can't even say the run game is really consistent. You know, I mean, it was spotty to begin with. Then Rico had 2 big weeks, and then spotty since, really.
I mean, this is all niceness. I think the 2 weeks for Rico have been like severely overhyped. Let's be real about it.
Yeah, and what I said earlier, it's wearing on him. You can tell it. You can tell his body language on the field.
Maintain that workload.
He's
anybody not named Derrick Henry can't maintain that work.
30 carries a game.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yes, but Jonathan
his
Taylor
carries
also
different.
His yards per touch is ridiculous, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even with Jonathan Taylor, if you look at it historically speaking, he's not been able to handle that workload.
No, that's true. That is true.
He did it at what was his rookie year, 2021.
He's had 1 RB 1 year.
2 injury riddled years right after it because of the beating he took as a rookie.
Yeah.
Now he just happened to be healthy, similar to Saquon.
And I mean, and another thing, like
now it looks like he's running.
Chuba's been completely faded out.
Yeah.
I mean, completely faded out of the offense.
I think he was
I don't think that's fair to Chuba either.
3 for 14.
Yeah, you're not
this
seeing
game.
anything from Chuba.
This might piss some people off. I'm just saying, I think he's still a better running back. In my opinion, Rico had a couple great weeks. Don't get me wrong. He had 2 really amazing weeks. I don't think he's better than Hubbard.
I just think his explosion.
He's more explosive than her.
Yeah, it's just more explosive.
Yeah, because Hubbard's been dealing with a calf issue.
Yeah, and see, that's what I said too. You know, how long we don't know how long this has been lingering too. Like it could have happened before he finally sat down. You know, for 2 weeks, and then like you said, he probably come back because he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, he came back. He's like, fuck, I'm gonna lose my job. And he still lost his job.
Yeah,
so, happens.
Well, now he gets to rest a little bit. Only three carries during the game,
and he's under contract for I think 2 more years.
Yeah, I think so.
Rico, dude, I'm not trying to sound bad. Rico had a pretty good year last year. Had 1,000 rushing yards. He played behind a good offensive line in Dallas. He also signed for a 1-year, $3 million contract for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
which could be up to 8 if he keeps going.
But my point in the situation, he didn't have a market.
Right.
He wasn't no elite. Hey, we got to go get that guy.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was a steal.
That.
Oh, I mean, hey, I said it. Me and you both said it. I think that was our biggest move in free agency.
Yeah.
So far,
yeah, definitely proved true.
It's kind of.
I think Moehrig's playing more.
Yeah. No, but we're talking like the impact that Rico has brought to this team.
Oh yeah, we don't win those 2 games probably without his explosion. Yeah.
But I'm not trying to sound bad. What does it say about the quarterback? Just gonna throw that out there.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of
the team.
It's.
It is a team. I give you that. Yeah. Right, you're 111. The quarterback did his 111 in those 2 games.
Let's just put it this way: the offense, there's a big problem on the offense as a whole.
Yes.
As a whole, it ain't just 9. It ain't 17. It ain't 5. Whoever you want.
I'm gonna ask the question because it begs the question. There's a quarterback that's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. That's playing at a very high level. Quarterback that we're all very familiar with. He played a little bit down the road from where I live in Durham. Name's Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones ain't going nowhere, Bob.
He currently is leading the NFL in passing yards.
He's not going anywhere, Bob.
I'm not saying he is, but all I'm saying is we got to find our Daniel Jones. We need to go find a quarterback that is capable.
He's not going nowhere. I promise you that.
I was going to say he's on the 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Hey, he did. He signed a 1 year. What was it? I think 1 year, like $11 million deal.
Those guys are not coming back.
No, he's getting a franchise tag for sure.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is not leaving Indianapolis.
He is a free agent at the end of this year.
Hey, you know what another guy I've heard, Kyler Murray.
I would be a little.
I feel like it's the same boat, really.
Pretty damn much.
His legs
you still won't know what you got in your receivers.
No,
correct. No, but at least I'd be excited. I'd be more excited about the run game. I tell you that.
Well, look, all right. So let's talk about because Jalen Hurts.
Correct.
To be honest, I don't see a whole lot of difference other than he's stockier than Bryce.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is a big dude
and more athletic. That's the only thing. That's the only differences I see. Because again, he has trouble. He has trouble getting his receivers in the games too.
He does, but he also has one of the most accurate deep balls, and he ain't afraid to chuck that bitch.
No, that is what he does have. Yeah,
and he also has 2 All-Pro wide receivers.
He'll throw it. He ain't gonna. He's gonna have a low percentage.
Tight end, and he also has the best offensive line in football. Hence why the Eagles are a good football team. It's not.
And they're allowed to jump off.
Jalen Hurts, the game manager, can at least win you a game. He showed that in the Super Bowl last year, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. It's just
Saquon Barkley shit the bed in the Super Bowl. For those of y'all who forgot, Jalen Hurts won that bitch.
Yeah, the situation is, man. I mean, just put it this way: it has to get better. You know what I mean? Like, I know we're sitting here week 10, we're 5-5. It's like it has to get better. Like, where do we go from here? You know what I mean?
Hey, look, this is where I hope most fans are, which it's not because some people are totally ate up with it. But look, I got a Saints fan at work. And I told him last week going into it, I said, hey man, we got y'all this week. He's like, yeah. He's like, y'all gonna get us, man. You're gonna get us. I was like, I wouldn't say that, man. I was like, you ain't no telling with this team.
Man, you never know.
He's like, no, y'all got us, man. Y'all got us. I saw him today, first time this week.
What did he say today?
All I did was point at him. I was like, he's like, man. I was like, I told you. I do not trust this team at all.
I swear, same situation at work. John, you're in my work league, Toyota Bowl. Chinosis in that league. He's a Saints fan, and he's a good buddy. You know, he likes to do the betting stuff, like that. He's a big football guy. But I told him the same thing. I was like, "You ready for Sunday?" He said, "Man, y'all gonna beat us by." He said, "What? 2 touchdowns?" I said, "I wouldn't say that." I was like, "I would not say that," because my exact words to him. I can have him on the podcast and tell you, I was like, all y'all got to do is shut down Rico Dowdle. Correct. Shut down Rico Dowdle and see what happens.
There you go.
There we go.
It was just written. In the back of my mind, I think in the back of our minds, we knew it. Like, again, because it comes down to the one thing Seth said. It's like we haven't gotten to see from the other guys. We haven't seen what we have this year. So,
correct. And similar to what you said, it's not just Bryce Young. I don't want people to think that it's not just Bryce Young.
It's not just nine.
It's got to do with the entire offensive scheme, the plays that are being called, and the opportunities that are being missed on every level of the field.
Well,
there's not too many offenses that I've ever seen that don't have some sort of a vertical route damn near every play. Yeah. That's just a part of the play. That's how you draw it up. That's how you shift coverage to get guys open where you really want them to be open. We just don't take vertical shots. And at the end of the day, when you're 30,
I just want to see the diversity again. I want to see just let the dude find the open, make him make the right read. You know what I mean? Give him the options. Let him make let's not pepper Tet. It's whatever. I have Tet in fantasy. Yeah. Do I want to see him get 3 touchdowns? Yeah. Do I want to see him, 100 yards? Yeah. I just want to see this. I just want to continue to see the development. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing for me. Like, Seth, you talked about it last week. We talked about it. Me and you've been on here, by ourselves. We talked about it. It's like we know what we are. This is a young roster. This team is learning, but we're not seeing the opportunities present themselves for these guys to even try to get better with their craft. Like we're not seeing it, and that's what's frustrating because, hey, we're young. We can say we can talk about all the guys we have. Oh yeah, we got Jay Coker. We got Ted McMillan, but hey, if the guys aren't getting the opportunities, we're not going to get to see it. And then you're going to go into next year and you're going to be in the same situation. What do we have? Like, who do we keep? Who do we let go? And all that stuff, man. It's just all I can say is I hope this week really punch these dudes in the mouth and they can really be like, all right, we got to do something different. Something has to change because you're 5-5. You're about to go on a tough stretch now.
Second hardest strength of schedule remaining.
Yep. So you're about to play playoff teams. These
you're
teams
playing,
that you're
winning
playing,
football teams for the rest of the season, pretty much.
You got 5 teams you're about to face that are all currently in the playoff picture.
Yep. And
they are very good football teams and they have very good players. Like you're gonna have to match with some of these guys, and you are not going to do it on the ground.
You're not. You think you're just going to run the ball 30 times for 200 yards and a couple touchdowns and control it on defense? It's not going to happen. These teams are better than that, and they have better coaching than that, and they'll be able to do the same thing that a one-win team just did. They will be able to box
and teams like that are settled in right now. They're settled in.
Correct.
You know what they're trying to do? They're looking at the playoffs. They're not looking at.
Well, see, that's what
just beat Buffalo.
I don't think. I was going to say, I don't think some of these teams are looking at the playoffs. The best teams look at the opponent that they have in front of them. They don't look ahead. They look at the next man on the next team on the schedule. That's what they look at. You want to look at a winning football team? Yeah, no, except for Buffalo, apparently. Sean McDermott just said, "Hey, it's Miami. It's a bye week," and they just got fucking smacked.
I just hope I'm not 30-13. I just hope I'm not playing against JSN on week 17 in fantasy football because that's not going to be good for anybody.
First receiver to 1,000 yards this season.
And Shaheed knows how to burn us too. So
Dude, good Lord.
look, the last couple things I got about this game, just notes I made. I want to put out there. LeBron Ray does not need to be on this field. LeBron Ray is one of our rotational backup defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was out there one series, and I saw like there were 3 or 4 plays on that one series. I was like, what the hell is he doing? Like completely getting blown up, like completely out of place. Ball's gone already, and he's still pass rushing, trying to get by the tackle, and still can't get by him. Don't even know the ball's gone. So LeBron Ray does not need to be on this field. Another thing, 2 things like in one, I do not like Taysom Hill or Cam Jordan. They can both suck it.
That's fair.
Bro.
I think we can all agree on that one.
Yes. And then last thing is the worst thing. We got kneeled out on last 2 minutes. Gone. Yeah. Only thing good about it was I got to see the end of 2 other games after that because we ended so freaking quick.
Yeah, we did end there. That was a very
Saints
fast.
kneeled out on us for 2 minutes after the 2-minute warning.
Yep.
And they were in scoring position.
Yes, they were.
To do that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
We defensively toward the latter part of the fourth quarter, we couldn't stop them. Like they were picking up first downs and they were eating that clock. So.
I guess the only thing we can kind of hang our hat on is this team has done pretty good this year about bouncing back after a loss. So
we get Atlanta again.
We get Atlanta again. I mean, Bryce has their number. Bryce has.
Bryce typically plays well against Atlanta, but I thought the same thing versus the Saints, and you see what happens.
Yeah. And speaking of Atlanta, NFC South, did y'all see? Because the Patriots just beat the Bucs, right? Did y'all see this thing? Champ. Yes. Vrabel sitting out there waiting every player come by, and he's yelling, NFC South champs.
NFC South champs, baby.
Because they done swept
tunnel. Yep. In the tunnel in Raymond James Stadium, congratulated all of his players as they were going into the locker room as NFC South champs. Wow. And I mean, he ain't wrong. They're 4-0 versus the division. They beat all 4 teams. So
and they beat us in Atlanta like a drum.
Yeah,
they beat the bricks off our asses.
I'm not gonna lie, they would have beat the shit out of Tampa had it not been for that late interception. Drake May threw in the end zone. He forced it. If he doesn't force that ball and they kick a field goal, that game's entirely different.
Yeah.
That's at least the 2-possession win.
I will say even though I do think Tampa Bay wins this division in the end, I did say early on, I was like, they're escaping. They're escaping on some last minute drives and Baker was doing his thing. But I was like, eventually they're going to face some teams that you ain't gonna be able to do that too, and I think that's really kind of where they've kind of hit a wall. But
to me, they seem like a division winner that gets bounced in the first round at home.
Yeah, they're very well coached. They have talent.
They're not.
What I say last week about the reason not to go in on free agency is because if we're going in just to get the playoffs to win the division, what does that mean? What does it mean? One and done?
I agree. Hey, give me my
draft. One and done, but then you shit on your draft cap.
Give me my top. Give me my top 15 pick, and I'm happy. That's what let's just continue to draft well.
Yes,
that's what I want. I don't want to win a division. I'm still be pissed if by some miracle the Carolina Panthers slip up and win the NFC South. Because if we're being honest, it's not out of the question technically.
No,
we're still only a game out.
1.5 games out, I think.
1.5 games out. We're still in the picture for the South, which is a very scary thing because this team hit a switch. This team hits a switch, and then all of a sudden you're in the playoffs.
So this is my opinion, and this is just based off of, again, the 10 weeks that we've already seen, the strength of schedule we have moving forward. We may finish with 5 wins. Let's be real about it. Like, we're in a situation right now where we may finish with 5 wins.
I can tell you this: that team that played Sunday will not win another game this season.
That's true.
I agree.
That team that played Sunday will not win another game this season.
That's true.
I will say that.
Because the game against New Orleans is going to be in New Orleans.
Yes.
So, like I said, if I'm looking at it from a Vegas standpoint, we're going to be underdogs every game for the remainder of the season.
For sure.
No, why would you put in favor against the Saints in New Orleans?
Against anybody.
Yeah.
So
you're not going to be favored. I don't know.
We'll be underdogs.
We'll be an underdog next week. I haven't seen the spread, but I guarantee you we're not an underdog by much.
Yeah, but the fact that we're an underdog against a team that we beat 30-0 says everything you need to know.
What should be like 5.5? Line's like 5.5.
I bet it's like 3.5. I bet you it's like 3.5. I bet you it's like 3.5.
I want to look it up. I got to look it up.
I bet you it's like 3.5.
Look, I have to share this fantasy update because my sister-in-law just beat me again for the second time this season.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Did she tell you at least?
Home league, yep, home league. Just beat me again, second time this season. I do have a lot of Cowboys. I have I got 4 Cowboys.
4 staff.
They were on a bye, so there was that.
3.5 point.
Told you.
Yep.
Told you.
Linus favored.
I haven't seen that. I just kind of figured.
I had to pull it up.
Yeah, I got beat by 12 points.
I can top that. It was about 4 weeks ago. The closest loss I've had all year was by 0.2 points.
I think mine was 0.3 in Toyota Bowl.
I was like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? I needed 2 fucking yards to win.
Well, we can give everybody a little update on the stop cap and redraft. Let's see where
we're finally in playoff position, guys.
I'm at the bottom.
The rest of y'all can say that though.
I'm currently on 2-week heater, son. 2-week heater, 4-6. Hey,
I think I'm on a 4.
And I got that win without Javonte Williams, without Brian Thomas, which he hasn't helped me at all. And Jamar Chase was on a bye. But actually, I don't even know who my big guy was. I don't think anybody had a big guy. Whoever played me had a bad week.
Yeah, he had a really bad week. He scored 97.
Yeah.
You know who my big guy was that week or this week in that league? Chris Olave.
Nice.
Fair.
At Baker Mayfield, he put up 30. And then after that, the highest scoring was the Carolina Panthers with 18, baby. Come on. Come on. I picked them up, plugged them in. Didn't let me down.
My highest scorer, actually, believe it or not, was Travion Henderson.
Oh, man.
He had 44.5.
Man, I had Henderson actually against John this week. And speaking of the work league, I had Henderson and Gibbs.
That team is so injured. I've never had such bad luck with a fucking team in my life.
I had Henderson, Gibbs, and Trey McBride.
He outscored. Just so everyone's aware, he outscored me by almost 100 points. It was bad.
All them guys had 40-plus points.
This will tell you how shitty my luck is in that league. Guess who I have to start at quarterback this week?
This week?
Justin fucking Fields.
Oh.
I had to do that a week or so.
That's fucking rough, man.
Jones. Yeah, I don't have
my wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Jamison Williams, and Jerry Jeudy. This isn't redraft, so that team is bad. 10th most points scored in a 12-team league, and the most points scored against. So, and a nice 2-8 record, and James is home.
That's the worst of the worst.
It's pretty bad. That league has definitely been injuries galore.
Yes.
I got Bucky Irvin sitting on IR, Trey Benson sitting on IR, Garrett Wilson's out for another 3 to 4 weeks after missing a couple weeks.
Hey, speaking of FFL, I might just walked into RB1, not the RB1, but a RB1 if J.K. Dobbins is going to put an IR because I have R.J. Harvey in that league.
Dare say J.K. Dobbins is going to IR. Where did you read that?
Yeah,
they said it today. They said it today. I swear.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'll say that.
That's going to screw me in a lot of spots.
Yeah, it came out earlier.
That's going to fuck me up in my money league, man.
Yeah. J.K. Dobbins' foot status remains unclear. Could be placed on IR. That was 4 hours ago.
God damn.
Yep. Dobbins suffered a foot injury on a hip drop tackle in last Thursday's game against the Raiders.
I'll be all right. I still got Breece Hall carrying Williams. I just can't afford another injury. That's all.
Yeah, my buddy we were talking today, and he was like, man, because he was like, I need to go get a running back. He said, what you think about J.K. Dobbins? I was like,
I would not do that.
I would leave him alone right now. Do not. It was funny because we got the notification came across my phone while we were on the phone talking about him trading for
really?
J.K. Dobbins. Yeah. I was like, because I knew he'd got hurt, and I was like, oh, he's kind of banged up, isn't he? He was like, yeah, he's questionable. And then it came up. I was like, yep, don't go get him.
I would avoid that, because if you do, it's going to bite you square in the ass.
Yeah.
I did have one of your work colleagues send me a bullshit trade in that league.
Really?
Yeah. I was nice. I was like, hey, look, my season's over. That trade only benefits you, so I'm not going to do that because it's just being a dick. But he wanted Brock Bowers, first off. And you know how I feel about Brock Bowers. I don't give a fuck.
I'm on a losing roster. He ain't going nowhere, bro.
He's sitting there.
I will sink with this ship, I promise you.
This ship is sunk. Don't get me wrong. 2 wins. We sunk 3 weeks ago, but not trading Brock Bowers because he helped me sink the ship, so he's going down with that bitch.
Yeah.
They offered me Cade Otton, Jalen Higgins for the Texans, and Aaron Jones for Brock Bowers.
That's terrible.
I was like, absolutely not.
That's terrible.
I was like, dude, that's how you get a fucking trade vetoed. Okay?
100%. He told me, he mentioned, he says, I'm trying to make some trades. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go. He told me, he was like, I'm going to try to go some of the guys that are at the bottom. I was like, man, that ain't going to work too well. But that's something you don't do.
Yeah.
Seth, you are last in FFL.
Yeah. Dude, the injuries completely derailed me. When Brock Bowers went on IR, in fact, Bucky Irvin's missed almost half the year. Like that team was fucking.
Dude, that situation's weird, dude. It's kind of like the fuzzy situation with Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall too. Talking about. I saw something the other day that said we're gonna get GTA 6 before we get an update on Joe Mixon.
We might, dude.
I was like, facts, bro. Like, facts. There's nothing about Joe Mixon.
That's what's crazy. There's literally nothing. They just said it was like a foot or ankle injury during the offseason. But what? Like, did he blow his fucking foot off at this point? I don't know.
Well, they need to go ahead and give the job to Woody Marks and just.
Well, even with that, he's been on the pup all year. They've given zero indication or zero updates on his availability if he's going to play. Shit, if he's out for the year, just say he's out for the year. Blew his Achilles out.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Joe Mixon retires. Watch what happens.
He might. I would not be surprised by that at all. Maybe, I don't want to sound bad. Maybe he decked another chick in the face and they just blown it off his ankle issue so nobody finds out. I don't know. But the fact that no one's talking about it, especially from a team standpoint, and they shut it down every time it comes up.
What is this?
Joe Mixon for the Texans.
What happened?
He's on the pup. He hadn't played at all. They're giving no updates. At this point, I'm saying what the hell happened. I think he did something stupid and either got hurt or he did something stupid and they don't want it to come out publicly.
I thought you said there was like something.
No, I mean, he got in trouble in college because he punched his girlfriend in the face or some shit. It was a whole domestic situation.
Allegedly.
No, it was on video. I'm pretty sure. It was factual.
Was he convicted?
I think so, but I have to go back and look. I think it was one of those where the charges
allegedly
were pressed and they dropped the charges and settled outside of court type situations because they got paid for it. I don't want to get into the whole messiness of what happened a decade ago, but he's got a history, so you never know. But the fact that team has been that quiet about a situation like that is surprising, especially given the fact that they gave him a contract extension, they gave him more guaranteed money, and he hasn't played a single snap all year. He hasn't practiced one time. They're giving no updates. Like, are they trying to fight to get some of the money back? Is it a situation like James said? Is he going to just up and retire and say, I'm not coming back, I'm never going to play again? No one knows. It's a very, very interesting, mysterious situation surrounding Mixon. And similar to what he said. Same thing with the 49ers. The 49ers are doing it with Ayuk too. Shit. Yeah. They came out last week and said, hey, we do expect him to play sometime this season. And then every freaking week, he's not practicing this week. God, when are you going to put him on a field? Like, I need to know.
Yeah, I really like that where I got him sitting on the IR in multiple leagues.
Yeah, me and you both.
Yeah.
He's just sitting on the pup. And by this point, I think early indication said he should have been back by mid-October. in the middle of November, and we still ain't even got him on a practice field. So
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it. Like we already know he doesn't want to be there. I don't think they want to risk him going back out there and getting hurt to where they can't trade him in there in the off season. So we're in a stalemate situation. Ricky Pearsall, bullshit.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Like at this point, have they benched him for Mac Jones? Because that's what it seems.
I told Dean, I was like, I think as long as they're winning football games, they're just going to keep those guys out. They'll want to change it right now. Let them guys be healthy. But
they
they
didn't win last week, and now they're second place in the division. So.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually you're going to have a concern with rust, and you're going to have to get these guys back into a playing, form.
Especially if you're trying to make the playoffs like that.
Down the stretch. So eventually they're going to come back. They're going to. I expect them back soon. Like I said, they'll be back.
They said Purdy's expected to be back this week.
110%. They'll have Pearsall and Purdy against the Panthers. That's just what's going to happen
on Monday night.
on Monday night.
Brandon Ayuk will make his debut that week too. Fuck it.
Yep, they're going to have they're going to be fully healthy when we go to. San
Well,
Francisco.
I'm more curious as to what the hell CMC is going to do to us.
I don't know, man. Hey, okay.
Wrong. This is the first matchup, right?
Hear me out. I was watching CMC play this last week, right? Now, he is currently what, RB2, RB3 in fantasy?
Yeah, because of the receiving.
Watching McCaffrey play, he is slowly losing his step.
Oh, of course. I mean, he's been
starting to see it kind of wind back on Christian McCaffrey a little bit. He don't have the explosiveness he had. So it'd be interesting to see what he looks like down the stretch here. They got Brian Robinson, you know what I mean? So I think you may start seeing a little bit trickle in some Brian Robinson.
They started this week. Brian Robinson did play, I think, a high as far as total snap count this week.
Yep.
He also scored a touchdown too.
Yep. So I'm
like, CMC brings a different dynamic to the game.
He does. No, he still has it. Like he's still a dynamic.
He's on pace for 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he isn't.
I called that shit too. Just throwing that.
But what I'm saying is, you're slowly starting to see him slow down. You're starting to see him slow down, and it's tough.
I'm waiting for the 49ers to be sellers on a lot of these pieces because they're getting older. They're not really producing. Like I'm expecting, to me, they need to be selling a lot of these pieces off so that they can revamp this team.
Last year with Debo. Yeah. They sent Debo to Washington.
That's true. Yeah.
That process, I agree, is in my opinion they've already started it a little bit.
Well, they need to jump.
They need to jump. Kittle could be maybe.
Yeah.
Kittle's a 49er for life, bro.
Ayuk's
getting traded. Like that's a formality, if you ask me. I don't know where he's going to land, but he's damn sure getting traded. And he'll probably bring back a third and a sixth. I don't think they're going to get as much as people would expect in return. If you look at Shaheed, I think he was a fourth and a sixth or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then who was the other receiver that got traded? Jacoby Myers. I think he was similar. He was a fourth and a sixth as well.
Yeah.
I think he's going to fetch a third and a sixth because, he is a better player than both of them, but he also has a $30 million contract per year. So he's not going to significantly fetch more than that. But whatever team – and shit, if Carolina came and said, hey, we'll give you a third and a sixth, guarantee you he gets traded. Doesn't matter what team offers a third and a sixth. If I'm the 49ers and I'm that front office and you say, here's your third and a sixth, we'll take him, you can have him. We'll see though. But I if there's something I'd be willing to bet money on, Brandon Ayuk getting traded. I'd put money on that.
Well, do you want to move on to some picks? Maybe talk about the Atlanta game a little bit?
Yeah.
Did you pick the Panthers, Seth, or was that Dean putting your name down there?
For this week?
Yeah.
I don't know how what we just watched. We'll see. It looks like he naturally assumed we're all going to pick the Patriots to beat the Jets. So he put a sweep on that one. We'll pick the Patriots.
I don't see that. All I see is his picks. I don't see our names.
I see sweep on your Patriots. I see sweep. Oh, I'll send you a screenshot. That way you can see it.
Oh, he swept on the Jets and Patriots.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He put sweep.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant on the Panthers.
Again, he ain't wrong. We're all going to pick New England to beat the Jets. That's the Thursday night game.
I was leaning Jets.
And Garrett Wilson's out. And they just traded their 2 best defensive
We've
players.
seen weirder shit this year, so
I mean, I would agree if it wasn't for Mike.
yeah, it still says the same for me.
Back baby.
Mike Vrabel being their head coach, he's going to have that team ready to beat the dog shit out of the Jets. Especially if you look at how Bill Belichick morphed New England into absolutely despising the Jets because he despised the Jets himself. And Vrabel is a Bill Belichick guy through and through. Yeah, they're going to beat the shit out of the Jets. I don't even think that's going to be a closely competitive game.
Well, since that's the first game Thursday, Seth, who you got?
Yeah, sweeping.
Patriots.
Get the broom.
Yeah, same Patriots. I mean, it ain't even.
I don't even think it's a question.
Yeah, it's not.
Dean knew that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Dean's game first.
Yeah.
All right.
Seeing as he ain't here. So
Lions at Eagles.
Lions at Eagles.
This is going to be an interesting game, right?
Dean is going with the Lions. So,
Seth, knock it. Seth, what's your thoughts on Dean's game this week, Lions at the Eagles?
I'm taking Lions on this one too. I'm not a huge fan of the Eagles right now and how they're operating. The Lions, I saw the last couple of games, I think, of them, or at least the last 2 or 3 weeks I've seen of them. I definitely like the progression that they've – Dan Campbell, this past game against the Commanders, which it is the Commanders. Dan Campbell, boy, spitting. He's spitting them over there, spitting them plays out. Boy, getting hyped too, calling them plays. He called that one touchdown. He called it out.
He knew that shit was done.
He's like, that shit going to hit. I love the energy, all that. The defense, I think, is playing good. Here's the thing, Philadelphia goes out, makes 3 trades at the deadline, bringing in that they have this horrible game with the Packers last night on Monday Night Football. I don't know. I ended up falling asleep in the third quarter. It was 3-0. So it was another touchdown and a field goal, right? It was 10-3. Yeah, terrible. So I didn't miss a whole lot, but I just think the better team right now, playing better right now, is the Detroit Lions. They can beat you from anywhere on the offensive side too, which is great. Lots of different stuff. You can see now that it wasn't just Ben Johnson, that there was Dan Campbell had his hands on things too. Yep. They're still doing a lot of the same things with moving pieces in and out. Well, they had Skipper lined up as a freaking wideout at one point. So, like, even crazier stuff. So it's Lions for me, man. I love the Lions. Love the whole vibe and atmosphere that Campbell brings over there.
Same, man. Same. Everything about Lions right now just looks like that. The team to beat. I mean, like you said, they didn't skip a step with losing Ben Johnson, and that was the biggest concern. You know what I mean? But what it came down to is talent. Just the talent's too good there. You know, the Eagles are in a situation where people are kind of, zoning in on Saquon, shutting down Saquon, forcing Hurts to be with their arm. Obviously, you got some. It doesn't look like happy wide receivers there right now.
One of them.
The player of the game, 4 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown. So it's not like, they're not lighting you up right now. So it means the Lions. I just think they're the better football team.
And I agree with both of you. I think the Lions are the better football team. I think the Lions are the better coached football team at this point in the season. I really do think that the Eagles are kind of having a little bit of an identity crisis midseason. Because teams are, again, stacking the box. They're taking away Saquon's ability to really be that guy. He looked like a completely, totally different player than he did last year this time. Like, let's be real about it. I think he really did take a beating with the amount of touches that he had last year. We preluded to that at the beginning of the season where we felt like he was going to have a down year just because of the workload that he had to sustain throughout the course of last year. But, I mean, they won a Super Bowl, so it was well worth it last year. This is current year. Lions are a better football team, in my opinion. Lions, in my opinion, the only differential between the Lions and the Eagles is that front defensive line. Hutchinson has been elite all year. He looks like he hadn't lost a step since he broke his leg in half, literally, because, I mean, he's been playing lights out. arguably a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Brian Branch, my favorite safety in the NFL right now. Dude's a ball hawk. He had 2 sacks last week. They're utilizing him in multiple positions throughout their defense. They're not afraid to bring pressure from anywhere. And like you said, Dan Campbell, man, taking over as an offensive play caller. Who would have thought that was ever going to happen? And then he called one hell of a game. Like, let's be real about it. And it was a entertaining game. And right now, you just got to pick the hot team, the hot hand, and that's definitely going to be the Lions.
All right.
We got a sweep.
Sweeping on that one.
Sweep on that one. All right, Seth, we can go to yours.
Yep. So I'm doing the Seahawks at the Rams divisional matchup.
Big time matchup.
Big time matchup. The Rams just come off of one with the 49ers. It's at LA.
Well, it's at LA, but it's going to be a road game. Let's be real. Seahawks are going to fill that stadium.
You think?
Oh, 100%.
They're going to fly down?
The Rams only play home games when it's a ass team.
Yeah, sort of an LA deal, right? It's just, yeah, I get you on that. Defense, I don't know, man. This is going to be a really good game, actually. I think I'm going to be going with I'm going to take the Seahawks here, though. I'm just sort of feeling that a little bit. JSN, you have another week of Shaheed in the offense. Running backs seem like they got a little bit going more this past week than what they have. There's so many weapons on the offense for Seattle, and this defense is playing so much more improved from last year. I know, they're going to be going against a tough defense also with the Rams defense, able to, put pressure on the quarterback, stop the run, and create turnovers too. So Rams, no slouches at all. I think this is going to be a very, very good game. I'm saying I think we'll be in the upper 20s to low 30s. They'll be pushing each other is where I think this is going to end up. But Seahawks is who I'm going with.
Yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks too. I mean, there's nothing that we're seeing right now that they do different. No, I'm not taking anything from the Rams, but this is. I mean, we get to see what Shaheed looks like in this offense. You know what I mean? He gets that weekend, and it's just going to give Darnold's playing good right now. It's going to give him another weapon downfield. I mean, they're just letting him sling it. You mentioned the running backs; they look a little better this week, but you don't really need them. I mean, Sam Darnold's set back and he's slinging it, and I don't think the Rams have an answer for JSN. Maybe a slightly better defense over there in Seattle too. So yeah, I'm gonna go Seahawks.
So just a fun fact, y'all are aware how well the Stafford is playing quarterback, right? Yeah. He has 20 touchdowns and 0 interceptions over his last 5 games. Mm-hmm. He's playing at an MVP level. Yeah. An all-time level of consistency at the quarterback position. Yeah. I think the Rams are going to beat the shit out of Seahawks.
Oh, you're crazy.
Hey,
give me a score.
But correct me if I'm wrong. The Seahawks just played the Cardinals. They were up, was it 35-0 at one point in the second quarter? They jumped out early. They had 2 defensive touchdowns on damn near identical plays. Sack fumbles, recovered for touchdowns. Same guy, DeMarcus Lawrence, recovered both for touchdowns. But Sam Darnold also had 3 turnovers in that game. He had an interception. He had 2 lost fumbles. And he's going against arguably one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. And he's shown consistency in one thing in his entire career, and that's turning the ball over. And this is one of those games where I can see a defense being opportunistic. I would not be surprised at all if he has another 3+ turnover game versus the Rams. And I think the Rams are going to walk away with this one pretty handily. To give you a score, because you asked for a score, I'm going to go 28-13.
Oh, wow.
2 scores.
Right. I said 2 scores last week for the Ravens win, but they won by 8, so I was close.
All right, yeah.
That is how you score, sure.
I'll hop over to mine. Tampa Bay at Buffalo. Oh, yeah, by the way, Dean also took the Seahawks in that one.
I'm surprised all 3 of y'all took the road team, because we all, like I said, LA sells out for other teams.
Yeah. So Tampa Bay at Buffalo. I don't know what the hell's going on in Buffalo, man. But I don't know what's going on in Tampa Bay either. We just talked about it.
Right.
You know, it's just this is a weird matchup because, like, you want to go with Josh Allen, but I feel like Tampa Bay has the better weapons offensively. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Defensively, Buffalo isn't playing well right now. They are banged up on the defensive side of the ball.
This is a coin flip too.
Oh my God, it is such a coin flip, man.
Yeah, because it ain't like the Bucks is lighting the world up on defense.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. You know what? I'm gonna go Buffalo. I'm gonna go home team. I'm just gonna trust in Josh Allen. I'm gonna trust in Josh Allen.
Trust your MVP of the National Football League.
And I'm just gonna trust that they can right the ship at home. Like something they're gonna figure something out. And hey, Tampa Bay, if I'm Buffalo, I'm like, hey, stop James Cook. Stop James Cook and stop Josh Allen from running the ball. And just like you said, they're not playing lights out on Tampa Bay as far as defense goes. So yeah, I'm just gonna. It's a tough matchup. It literally is a coin flip. I will not be surprised if Tampa wins this game, but I'm gonna go Buffalo.
I'm gonna go with the better quarterback.
See,
Baker Mayfield.
That's a Baker statement.
I'm gonna go with Josh Allen.
Yeah, good call.
Dean also took Buffalo, by the way. So sweep.
Yeah, it's a sweep.
Yeah,
Y'all should know I was going to say Josh Allen and Bills by default.
Yeah.
But no, like realistically, this is a coin flip game. Again, the only reason why you pick the Bills in this situation is two things. Josh Allen, home game. That's about the only factors that I'm really looking at. The Bills play better, significantly better at home, right? We've seen that over the last 3 or 4 seasons, to be honest. They typically, when they get beat on the road. It's been a calling card for that team over the last 3 to 4 years. But right now, like you said, I don't know what to think of Tampa. Like Tampa feels like that 9-8 or 8-9 division winner that gets bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Like that's what they feel like to me right now. I don't think they're that great of a team. I think they were better last year. Really exciting, right? I'll give them that. Right? Yeah. They've had, I think every win they had was a fourth quarter comeback.
Mecca Buka is
that tells you a lot too. Yeah, Mecca Buka's like star-studded.
Hey, you know, we can see what their young receivers actually look like.
Correct, because Baker will throw the ball to anyone at anywhere at any time, either team. But hey,
and there was one point in Baker's career that people had said he's a bust. He wasn't going to make it. So I mean, hey, he's slinging it. Hey.
Yeah, Baker had one really good year for the Browns. He did get them to the playoffs.
Very inconsistent player. He's a very inconsistent player. But again, like Seth said, my boy will chunk it down the field, and he will give his guys the opportunity to go make a play. That's what he will do. Sweep on Buffalo. All right, John.
All right, this game.
I don't like this one either.
This is another coin flip game.
I do not like this game whatsoever.
This game is going to be interesting because you have polar opposites in teams. You have one of the best offenses in the NFL this season with Kansas City. Despite the record, they are one of the best offenses in the league. You have the Denver Broncos, one of the best defenses in the league, the best defense from last year, top 5 this year again. So you have a battle of contrasting styles. The difference for me in this game is where these two teams are really at. Denver is winning this division right now. Kansas City is on the outside looking in for the playoff race. If Kansas City loses this game, they're dropping to 5-5 coming out of a bye week. And then all hell is going to break loose because what is going on in Kansas City, right? This team has been to 3 consecutive Super Bowls. They won 2 of the 3. And they're staring a 500 record through 10 games in the face if they lose this game. Patrick Mahomes is about to absolutely torch Denver shit. This is the game where I think all of the pieces are really going to fall into line when it comes to offensively for Kansas City. They're going to have to rely on Patrick Mahomes. We already can tell they don't have a running game, right? They made the offer for Bryce Hall. I don't know what the fuck they couldn't get over a 3rd-round pick for to get a proven difference maker at a running back position.
I agree.
I don't know what.
That was not smart.
Yeah. Their GM's dumbass for that one. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
the differential of what? 35 to 40 slots in the draft. Like, dude, just don't be greedy and just trade the goddamn pick. It's a late third any damn ways. Like, let's be real. And you could have.
You're not getting that. You're not getting that value or that quality of player.
Yeah, you're not going to get.
You're
not going to get a top 5 potential running back in the NFL for a third round pick, except in the situation that Breece Hall's in. The team is selling. They suck. He's on an expiring rookie contract. They're obviously not interested in giving him a long-term deal. Make the trade. If he walks in free agency, shit happens. You'll get a compensatory pick. You'll be okay. You'll get a 5th round pick in the next draft. Just make the fucking trade. Neither here nor there. Kansas City.
Quickly upgrade your weakest position on offense.
But not just upgrade,
for real. Like, for real.
Significantly upgrade the weakest position in your offense.
Yep.
That had so much diversity to what you can do with his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He is all 3 of their running backs combined times 2.
Yep.
And they didn't want to give up a third instead of a 4th. This is the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. But like I said, regardless of all of that, I still think Kansas City is going to win this game. They understand the situation that they're in. If there's a head coach that I trust to put a game plan together to take advantage of an opportunity coming out of a bye week, it's Andy Reid. Kansas City's going to win this game.
Yeah, I'm been one of the biggest people on Denver, even back to last year. But I can't not go against the Chiefs in this game. Denver has struggled. They are up and down. They're a freaking roller coaster on offense. Sometimes they're putting it together and looking awesome. Other times, like this past Thursday game was probably the worst Thursday game I've seen all year.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, it was as bad as this. Well, it wasn't even it was worse than what this Monday night game was as far as offense. So they are just so up and down. I don't know how you go against a well-coached team that has better players than what you faced this past week in Oakland and still win the game. Again, back-to-back division games at home, you struggle against the weakest team in the division, and now you have, even though the record says third best, we all know they're better than that record.
Yeah.
Correct.
I just can't see Denver coming out on this one, and I got to go with the Chiefs. All the things you said, coming off a bye, I would feel better going Chiefs if Buffalo had looked better this past week. Since the Chiefs the Chiefs handed them that loss going into the Chiefs bye. So I would feel better if Buffalo had done a little bit more this week against Miami. But I still think the Chiefs are more put together right now.
100%. Yeah. I mean, when you talk about just well coached and Pat Mahomes, you have Pat Mahomes. It's the same thing where you go with Josh Allen. You don't bet against Pat Mahomes. Offensively, they got the firepower. Again, Denver's weird. Denver's a weird team. Now, is Denver a team that can come in here and completely draw up something to beat Kansas City? Yeah, but I don't think it happens. I mean, they're 8-10, but that 8-10's inflated. It's not a good 8-10 in my opinion.
8-2.
8-2. Sorry, 8-10.
Very good.
It's not a good 8-2 team. Yeah, it's Kansas City. It's Pat Mahomes, man.
I'm surprised we actually went with a sweep on that one. I thought one of y'all would take Denver. I
mean, edging it, yeah. Like Denver's. I mean, like again, like I wouldn't be surprised they came up with. I wouldn't be surprised if this game came down to like a last minute type thing. You know what I mean? Like
I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but if I'm betting,
I'm going to pick Mahomes in this situation just because of the fact that, like I said, my biggest reason is the factor of where that team's at. Like they lose this game, they're 5-5, and they're really on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoff chase.
Yeah.
Like, you don't go 3 straight Super Bowls and then not make the playoffs. Like this is a playoff team.
All right, biggest game of the week.
Panthers.
Well,
the Atlanta Falcons.
I say Buffalo beats Tampa Bay. We beat Atlanta. We're top of the division.
I'm going Panthers. I'm going Panthers.
I'm not. I'm going Atlanta.
You're going with the Panthers. All right, James, explain.
I'm going with Panthers, man. Again, what I say earlier, this team has shown that for some reason, when they come off a loss, there's a switch there. There's a switch. They beat this team 30-0. I know it was a different situation, But again, Atlanta is so up and down, and it's because of the guy they have under center also. Let's not act like Michael Penix is all this.
Correct.
He struggles at times. There's things you can do. Did Dean pick the Panthers?
Yeah, Dean picked the Panthers.
He just put it in. No, there's times where he struggles. And I think the Panthers they're going to do something offensively this week to say, hey, we got to figure something out. Now, they're going to come with the game plan. They're going to run Rico Dowdle. They're going to say, hey, you got to stop the run. But when I see what Dave Canales has to say, and I see the things that these players are saying, like, they understand what they need to do. And this team is not a threat. This team has weapons. This team had weapons when they came to Charlotte, and those weapons did not shine. So I just think the Panthers are going to hit a switch. I think something's going to change. You're coming off a terrible loss. I would say this loss was worse than the big one, getting blown out against the Bills, getting beat by the Patriots like you did.
I would say this is the worst loss in Dave Canales' tenure.
It is. You were out-coached simply as that.
Yeah.
You were
Not
just
only that,
out-coached.
but you lost at home to a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. Wasn't a first round pick, your second round pick.
Yeah. So I think they figured it out. I think not figured it out. No. Let me say that. They don't figure
A long
it
way
out.
to go before they
But
figure it
I
out.
do think they figure something out this week that's going to edge them over the Falcons.
Seth, what's your thoughts?
I'm picking Atlanta. Look, if they come out, if Panthers come out and win, I'll just pick against them every week because I still don't I don't have any faith. I don't have any faith in them to like going into that Saints game. I was telling myself that morning as the game was coming on, I'm like, there's a real good possibility we're going to lose this game. So I'm not even going to get up, hyped for it. I'm not getting up for it anymore. So they're going to have to put it out there in front of me before I'm buying in on this team. I'm going to have to see it on the field from now on.
All right.
No video package, no blueprint, none of that's going to have me.
I don't watch the blueprint
hyping
anymore.
up.
Blueprint, boop. I'm just going to
It's
unfollow the
forbidden.
Panthers on YouTube is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to search up the press conferences. That's it.
That's all you need. Just watch the demeanor and the attitude and the way they answer the questions.
Mm-hmm.
I will say one thing. Dave Canales has not lost a step when it comes to tiptoeing around questions. Still
I heard
we're not going to talk about
say-
that, but I just wanted to throw that little tidbit in there.
I heard somebody said he has a good way of saying a lot, but not
Without answering shit.
without answering anything or something like that. I was like, that is so true, bro.
It is so true.
He says a lot.
Can talk his way
Says a
around
lot to say
any
nothing.
question without answering.
That's what it was. He says a lot without saying much,
Yeah.
without really you don't give anything away. I can't say that. The man is
Yeah, I give him that.
he is literally straight face, same thing, same answer. Hey,
Now, this game, this is a really significant game for the Panthers because again, like realistically, we're underdogs for a reason. We are playing in Atlanta. Yes, Atlanta is extremely inconsistent. Yes, their quarterback has been extremely inconsistent. But the difference to me is the skill guys in this situation. Atlanta defensively is really starting to hit a stride. Walker, 2 sacks last week. Pierce had a sack last week. Bates, back-to-back games with interceptions. Defensively, they're starting to make steps in the right direction. If there was a team that I said similar to Kansas City that's better than the record, I think Atlanta is better than the record.
I think roster is better than the record.
Fair. Definitely fair. But my questions come into play with, can we, and this is going to sound crazy because, again, we beat this team 30-0. Can we score as many points as Atlanta can score? I don't think we can.
Keep in mind, we scored 2 touchdowns in that first game.
Correct.
Only 2 offensive touchdowns.
2 offensive touchdowns, yes. I don't think we're going to outscore them. I just don't trust what I see on offense. Like you said, James, the eye test's just not there. And just like the commentator said last week, just like the commentator said, he said it, God, at least 5 times when they were calling a game last week. They're going to make you throw the ball. Atlanta saw a blueprint that says if you play the Carolina Panthers and you make them throw the ball, they can't do it. They don't have the ability to win when it comes to that.
Oh, the blueprint's out there now.
Oh yeah.
But the blueprint. I mean, like I said, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I called it before I called it. Before
You did.
it happened. I said
that's where a lot of that conversation was.
There's a lot of question marks.
A whole lot of questions.
There's a lot of question marks when you stop this run, because even the moments when they did pass during those times, it was not good. So
correct. And that is the reason why I will pick Atlanta in this game. I don't think we can keep up with them offensively. I think
75 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I hope, from fantasy standpoint, I absolutely hope. I think Bijan's going to have a really good bounce back game. I would not be the least bit surprised if he rushes for 200 yards on our defense.
No way.
Wouldn't surprise me if luckily.
No.
I'll go that far. I'll say it.
125. I give you 125, not 200.
I would go out on a limb, say I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 200 mark, honest.
No way.
I think this is a week where our typical game plan is flipped. I think they're going to reverse it. I think Atlanta's going to commit to running the ball. I think they're going to run the ball early. They're going to run the ball often. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Tyler Algier has a really good game as well, because in my opinion, he is definitely one of the 32 best running backs in this league, and he should be a starter somewhere. He's shown the ability to do that as a rookie. He's shown the ability to do that behind Bijan. He gives me a lot of Turner vibes from the Chargers before he went to Atlanta. I could see him having that sort of an outbreak on a new team next year, because if I'm not mistaken, his rookie contract is about to expire as well. But we'll see. But like I said, I'm going to take Atlanta. I think they're going to, again, role reversal. I think they're going to commit to the run game. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see 20 to 25 pass attempts from Atlanta throughout the course of the game, and they're going to rely on the run game of Bijan to beat the crap out of the Panthers, and I don't think it's going to be close. And I don't trust Bryce Young to go win a football game.
I'm worried about the defense too. We just watched Horn get manhandled by Olave, and then get missed assignments against the tight end, and then we got Pitts and Drake London coming in.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Cook go for 200 against that defense?
Yes,
James Cook.
Yeah, Bijan's about to cook our shit. I just want y'all to know that.
I mean, so you put that where we got the passing. The passing game to worry about with the tight end and with a more physical receiver.
Drake London's that dude.
And then you got Bijan on top of that. That's just waiting for a bust, to bust out, because we're talking like it's been 3 games, I think, where hasn't scored a touchdown, and his last
touchdown was 82-yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah, has been sub 100 yards for 3 weeks, so he's getting ready. He's getting ready to cut loose, and unfortunately, I think it's going to be against us.
I do too.
Maybe
we'll see.
We'll see.
I think Sunday's going to be a long day
for Atlanta. No.
It might be a long day for Atlanta because they're going to be partying after they beat the shit out of us.
Well, I'm hoping we're all wrong, or hoping that I'm wrong at least. Hoping half of us are wrong, and that we are going to be coming back and we're going to be talking about a victory that the 2 of us were wrong on, and we'll have a better conversation next week than what we've been able to have the past couple, especially today with that loss that we suffered. So, yeah. Well, if you are still with us, we thank you. We appreciate you. Start following us on all the socials. And as always, keep freaking pounding.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Go Panthers.